My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm talking to you from the Swiss mountains. Today, a very short video about something crazy that is happening, which is the fact that the Swiss people are just about to lose their neutrality. And may I remind you, neutrality in Switzerland is one of the greatest assets of this country. It's been formalized in 1815, i.e. more than 2 centuries ago. And it's been the tool and the asset, to some extent, that has sheltered us from all the misery that all our neighbors, France, Germany, Italy, the Nordic countries, but to some extent England as well, have had to go by and sustain over the last 2 centuries in terms of wars and all this misery. And today, the president, the ex-president of the Swiss Confederation, has given herself the power to go and negotiate with no less than NATO the participation of Switzerland into NATO when NATO is just about to have a major defeat, to be defeated by Russia in the Ukrainian conflict. And this lady, who's been sacked, in inverted comma, just very recently, has given herself not only the power to buy the F-35 fighter jets, which are completely dysfunctional, and we all know that, although they might be bettered by the Swiss and make, efficient in case of war. Not only that, and this is certainly on behalf of financial interests and trades between Switzerland and the US, I don't know about it. But it is probably the reason why, rather than taking the Swedish Gripen, which is a better fighter jet than the F-35 for the terrain, for the Swiss Alps, let's face it, no, she's given herself the power to actually buy more than 30 of those aircrafts for hundreds of millions. And now she's in the process of making sure that we have a participation in NATO, making sure that Switzerland loses its neutrality, which again has been inherited by our ancestors, and making Switzerland participate to active conflicts. And one of the reasons is to be able to sell weapons from ASEA, Brown Boveri, ABB, and other weapon manufacturers that we have here in Switzerland, so that they can sell their weapons even to countries at war, which is completely anti-constitutional within the Swiss legal and constitutional framework. But yet the politicians have made sure that the Swiss people ain't citizens anymore. They are electors. They elect, they vote for whichever, in the case of Swiss representative democracy, the Swiss people are not allowed to be citizens participating to the, I would say, strategic decisions about their own country. No, they are voters. And when they go vote, when they put their ballot into the box, it is the time at which they decide not to decide anything anymore, because they're giving this power to their representatives. This is utterly crazy. And all of that on behalf of financial interests in complete derogation with the interest of the people. This is obscene. Obscene. And please, I'm now addressing the Swiss people, wake up. Take back your sovereignty. Take back your decision power so that you can respect the inheritance of our ancestors. And if you don't do that, you're going to be wiped out. Let me tell you, why is it that the traditional medias ain't speaking about it, ain't informing you about it? It is crazy. So please, my advice is go on www.ovet24.com and please read a few chapters of my book titled 2024, which will describe the sources of revenues of state, describe how politicians and the deep state works, and then you will find in it the constitutions or the very foundations of what any constitution should contain to preserve the sovereignty of the only sovereign, the people, the citizens. And when the legal framework and the constitutional framework doesn't grant the people the power to decide, when the tools, the constitutional and legal tools that authorizes you to exert your sovereignty have been stolen from the people, you need to rewrite the constitutions. You need to rewrite the legal frameworks which are there to preserve our collaborative capacity within the nation. And it is not a financial tool that preserves financial interest. It is truly at the service of the citizens. And both constitutions and legal frameworks need to be rewritten at the service, in the service of the only sovereign, the citizens, the people. So please, you will find all the text on the website, of course, but if you prefer to, listen to it, you'll have it on Spotify podcast, on Apple podcast, on YouTube podcast. You have all the videos on every platform. It is your duty to go and listen. And I'm not saying that, I'm right on all fronts, but at least I'm suggesting a solution that will give you back your sovereignty. And it comprises education, health, and all the major sectors of human activities which are defining whether you're going to have an accomplished life or whether you're going to stay the slaves of the way constitutions and legal frameworks have evolved over the last century. So please, wake up, take back your sovereignty, and ask your politicians to be again proud of civil service, of the service they provide to you, the citizens, the infrastructure that they are meant to provide you to make sure that the only wealth creator, i.e. the citizens again, can perform so that, they can actually feed and, shall I say it, and make sure that our politicians can carry on having the obscene quality of life that they grant themselves on the basis of your work. So go there and be certain that President Donald Trump will be very shortly ending the war with Ukraine and against Russia. And he's a pragmatic person, and he has understood that putting the American people back at work for themselves, not killing them with taxes, is the best way to create wealth for the larger number. And he will probably bring the, I would say, amendments of the Constitution and legal framework that are absolutely necessary for the citizens to take back their power. So wake up. Please do it. Go on forovet24.com, check out my book titled 2024, and let's organize the internet tsunami that will erase the capacity of politicians, of your representative, to steal your freedom, to steal your decision power. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Peace on all citizens of this planet. Peace out.